Hi there, Felicia. It's Andrew once again. Let's jump straight in and start reading your first task 1. So the bar graph illustrates the predicted number of Mexican, Canadian and American visitors to 4 different cities, I would say. To 4 different cities. It's not appropriate to use such as here because we are referring to the literal cities that are being measured. If we were referring to some of a wider group, such as would be fine. Such as is used when we want to refer to a small sample. When we say, mammals such as gorillas or humans, we're not naming all the mammals, we're just naming a few of the mammals. But here, we need to name all of the cities. So, American visitors to 4 different cities, namely London, Paris, Madrid and Istanbul in 2018. Overall, it is clear that each national group of visitors shows different priorities when considering city destinations. For the year 2018, Paris, I would just say Paris expects, or Paris is expecting. For the year 2018, Paris expects 100,000 visitors from the United States, followed by visitors from Canada and Mexico, with approximately 48,000 and 28,000 visitors respectively. Actually, because you've put visitors here, that's okay. We can say Canada and Mexico because you've clarified it here. That's good. Whereas Paris is the most preferred destination for Americans, I would say Istanbul is most popular with Canadians. Istanbul is most popular with Canadians, with 70,000 tourists expected in 2018. The only reason I'm correcting that is to vary the sentence structure slightly. Mexicans, though, are predicted to be the smallest group of visitors to Istanbul, with exactly 20,000 persons. However, I would remove this. I would just say, however, Mexicans strongly prefer to visit Madrid. And I would use a semicolon here, because these two are related, but they are both complete sentences. So we could say, however, Mexicans strongly prefer to visit Madrid, semicolon. The city expects. Or we could say 68,000 Mexican tourists are expected to visit the city. Istanbul and London are both quite popular for North and Middle Americans. Middle Americans, although I understand what you mean, it's not quite precise enough. I'm not sure. Maybe it's okay. We basically just want to say white people, don't we? But I can't think of a polite way to say it. I would stick to people from Canada and the USA, personally. But I'm ambiguous on this. I'm not quite sure. With projected numbers, we can use projected here as well. With projected numbers of 80,000 and 50,000 tourists, respectively. And if we are going to say this, we're going to have to support it with data. While Mexicans do not prefer this destination to the same extent, with only X tourists expected to visit. In general, Paris will be the most popular destination. Let's stick to expected or projected. Will be is too certain for projected numbers, for estimations. Will be expresses certainty, and this is by its nature uncertain because it is a future Yeah, projection is the best word. It is a projection. With an overall, and it's a number, sorry. An amount is something that has units. But if it's a fixed integer number, it must be a number of tourists. So an amount of flour, if let's say, you had 1.5 kilograms of flour, that would be an amount of flour. But tourists, it's a number of tourists. Next, as forecasted, London will attract the smallest number of city visitors from these particular countries. Cool. Overall, very, very good. I think you sort of comfortably moved into the 7 band with this. I'm quite happy with your progress. So, for this task 2, what we've been asked is, should humans adapt to technology? That is, should we change our behaviour to meet the needs of advancements to technology? Or should technology adapt to us? That is, should we design the technology to meet our needs specifically? So, should we just advance technology as best we can and then change ourselves? Or should we insist that technology is only built to meet our needs? So I would include that discussion in your intro. You have discussed whether the relationship is dominated or not by machines, but I would like it to be clearer as to whether you think the design of technology should be exclusively to meet humans' needs, or whether we should take technological advancements and adapt to them. So that would be my first comment, to make sure that you cover the core question in your intro, so that we know the discussion that will result in the essay. So, the discussion as to whether the relationship between technology and humans is dominated by electronic devices such as robots and computers has grown in importance since the advent of digitalization. Good. Moreover, some people hold the view that technological progress reduces the intellectuality of humans. This essay will oppose this view, using examples from the American Institute of Technology and Harvard University in order to demonstrate and prove points. Good. Your writing here is great, but I think it should more clearly express your understanding of this core question. Firstly, it is clear that nowadays technology adapts to and depends on humans. That noise was my dog, by the way. This is largely because humans are more intelligent than robots, computers, and other technological devices. Yes, but I would also say that these have no intelligence. So to compare humans' intelligence to that of machines is slightly mistaken, simply because there is zero intelligence in machines. And here, maybe we should say, I know, so they may support us in our daily lives, plural. However, so I'm not a big fan of using the personal pronouns in academic writing. We should depersonalize academic writing wherever possible. So what we could say here, we could say, machines may now be fundamental to daily life. Or even, while machines live, they take instructions entirely from people. For example, recent studies by the American Institute of Technology indicate that, on average, 2 humans are needed in order to look after 1 electronic device, which includes loading the battery, making repairs, and giving instructions, I would say. Giving orders has a military context. It makes us think of an officer in an army giving an order. So we should talk about giving instructions. Machines receive instructions. Therefore, technology cannot exist without human beings. Good, but the discussion is which should adapt, not which can or cannot exist without the other. Secondly, technology is neither making us more nor less intelligent, neither nor. Excellent. For instance, highly technological devices and machines enforce is not, I would say, motivate or incentivize. Highly technological devices and machines incentivize us to develop new and especially different skills today than, I'd say, previously. A study from Harvard University supports this approach by showing that today only 1 out of 10 Americans know how to repair an old timer? I'm not sure what this means. Whereas 75% of Americans are able to repair a smartphone. Fine, but I'm not sure what you mean here. Do you mean an old watch? Or because if you mean just an old timer, as in a timing device, it's not hyphenated. And an old timer, is an old person. It's a slang word for an old person. So if only 1 out of 10 Americans know how to repair their grandparents, for instance, I'd say that's quite impressive. I expected much less from Americans. Resultantly, humans today have skills and capabilities that are have skills and capabilities developed entirely based on current necessities. To conclude, from the arguments and examples given, I firmly believe that, no comma necessary there, I firmly believe that humans okay, so what we should do is remove this comma here, and it should go here. So we say, to conclude, from the examples and arguments given, I firmly believe that humans, comma, with their ability to develop new skills, comma, will always be in command of technology and progress as digitalization and electrification lead, no plural, 2 things lead us, 1 thing leads us, 2 things lead us, to improve our capabilities. Good. Once again, you're well into the 7 mark. I think if you submitted these 2 essays in IELTS, you would be looking at a 7.5 quite happily. I think what we should be doing is aiming to be well over the 8 mark, though, because sitting in an exam, we tend to perform much differently than we do at home. So once again, by the way, you're the most thorough student that we currently have. Nobody puts in quite so much effort into their error spotting and correction tasks as you do. So well done on that one. You clearly take your exam seriously. So have a lovely day. I will look forward to your next things. Speak soon. Bye bye for now, Felicia.